Everyone knows her for her blonde hair, red lipstick and sparkling smile. Hello everyone, I'm Uğur Ergunay. I've prepared the story of Marilyn Monroe, Hollywood's biggest star and a pop culture icon for you. But when the cameras were off, who was behind that sparkle? This is the story of the real woman behind the Marilyn Monroe legend. The story of Norma Jean. Not just a child who wanted to be loved, but the story of a woman with a sharp intellect, a passion for learning and a rebellious spirit. The dumb, blonde image that Hollywood imposed on her was, in fact, her biggest prison. But she refused to fit into that mold. When the cameras were off, Marilyn was an intellectual who never put a book down. Her personal library of over 400 books included giants like James Joyce and Albert Camus. She poured her complex inner world onto paper through the poems and diaries she wrote. This was her silent rebellion. While her body was seen as a commodity, she fought to free her mind. This rebellion didn't just stay on the pages of books. In 1955, she virtually declared war on Hollywood's giant studio system. She founded her own production company, Marilyn Monroe Productions, with photographer Milton Green. This was a revolutionary act for the time. She would no longer play the roles imposed on her. She would choose her own films. She proved her acting talent to critics with the film Bus Stop. She then co-starred with the legendary Laurence Olivier in The Prince and the Showgirl. Marilyn didn't use her power just for herself. When she learned that the famous club Mocambo refused to let the black jazz singer Ella Fitzgerald perform simply because of her skin color, she personally called the owner. She made him a clear offer. "If you hire Ella, I'll sit at the front table every night." This would attract the press and fill the club. Marilyn kept her promise. Ella Fitzgerald performed at Mocambo and opened a new chapter in her career. Years later, Ella would say, "After that favor, I never had to play in a small jazz club again." This incident is one of the most powerful moments, showing Marilyn's stance against racism and her sense of justice. But all these successes, all this struggle, were not enough to fill the deep void inside her. When her stormy marriage to writer Arthur Miller ended, she became even more dependent on her psychiatrist, Dr. Ralph Greenson. This relationship eventually turned into a complex web that controlled her life. Her last film, The Misfits, was like a rehearsal for her own tragedy. The script, written by her ex-husband Miller, carried painful traces of Marilyn's own life, and the filming exhausted her both physically and mentally. Her final months were a complete storm. While trying to revive her career, she was also in the headlines for her dangerous relationship with the Kennedy brothers. Soon after, she was fired from the set for her unprofessional behavior. She was dreaming of a new beginning in her Brentwood home, which she had bought with her own money for the first time in her life. But on the night of August 5th, 1962, she was found dead in that house, alone at 36, among countless pill bottles on her nightstand. Marilyn Monroe was much more than a sex symbol. She was a feminist who challenged a patriarchal system, an intellectual who fought for her art, an activist who stood against discrimination, and a wounded soul who, her whole life, just wanted to be loved as Norma Jean. Her legacy lives on as an immortal proof of how scorching fame can be, and how even the brightest lights can hide the deepest sorrows. Thanks for sharing this story. See you in the next video. Stay tuned.